Welcome to your daily dose of astrological insight and inspiration for Monday, the 14th of October 2024. I'm intuitive evolutionary astrologer and psychic tarot reader, Crystal, the crystalline priestess. Now, without further ado, let's get into the energy of the day. So, loves, if you watched my Astro Tea Weekly, you would know that today is really... we are feeling it, okay? It's a really rough day. It's a heavy day. It's a hectic day. So I'm actually going to make this pretty brief, to be honest. I don't want this reading to be too long because we spoke about it a lot in Astro Tea Weekly, and that was an hour-long video. So if you do want to kind of get an overall vibe of this whole week and what we're kind of going through, including the new moon the full moon that's coming up on Wednesday. When I say transit, I'm meaning that we have a massive cardinal T-square today, which is just absolutely bonkers. You know, after everything we've already been through last week, we're still feeling so much intensity. The Sun square with Mars, who is in Cancer at 21 degrees, and then we have Chiron, who is at 21 degrees of Aries, who's in an opposition with that 21 degree Libra Sun. And so we're exactly feeling the pressure of these moments today. And I think a lot of us, it's feeling like, you know, we have all of these different parts of our lives that are pressurizing us into this one point, this Pluto mother effing Capricorn right now. And the Sun, you know, is moving after it has this T-square. By next Monday, we're going to have that Sun in a square with Pluto. So we're only 1 week off before another really, really powerful Pluto Sun or Pluto square. Because we have Mercury, who was literally just moved into Scorpio today. It's just finished that square that he'd had with that we had with Pluto yesterday. And so we are now really needing to sort of catch up our minds with where our values of trying to be sort of inspiring us. I think with that Venus opposition with Uranus today, we're having this, like, at the same time as Mercury moves into Scorpio, you know, we're having this need to start seeing things clearly and to start seeing our why, you know. And I spoke to this a lot in Astro Tea Weekly, but like, what is the why? What is the reason? Why do you want to reach the top of the mountain? Why do you want to achieve that thing? You know, what is it about a specific thing that has you wanting to achieve it? Because I think what we're really needing to face and confront in these moments are the fears that bully us. We have the bully archetype that just flew out, but it's really coming down to this with that square between Mercury and Pluto, who is still active. You can clearly see that it's still active, even though Mercury is now in Scorpio. It's only 1 degree off that square, so it's still very, very strong. And we are having to see where we have fears that have bullied us into not being able to take the appropriate action. And that's what this T-square is with Mars, Chiron, and the Sun. We haven't been taking appropriate action when it comes to actually making our dreams become a reality, or making our goals become a reality. You know, this is us having to face our own wounds within ourselves that have not led to us actually getting to where we want to go. And that's not to say that you are fucked up and that you are behind in where you should be. This is to say that you are exactly where you are meant to be in recognition to how it is that you've worked over these past 16 years. You know, Pluto in Capricorn is showing you the results of the work that you've put in. If you feel as though you are not where you want to be achievement-wise, well, and like literally, I'm fucking so far from that. So I'm not preaching at anyone. I am well and truly here as well. I'm nowhere near where I thought that I would be. When I was like 17 years old, I did not expect myself to not be rich by now. And that's just being honest. Like, I really thought that I was going to work that shit out, and I really didn't. And so it's about having to accept where maybe we didn't quite achieve what we thought we were going to when we were back at 2008. You know, maybe things didn't, but I am certain that your life looks 1,000,000,000% different than the way you thought it was going to look back then. So the bully archetype says, highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. And that's definitely what this Sun opposition with Chiron and the square with Mars, this is a day where we could be dealing with our own inner bullies. We're dealing with our own demons, but we're also dealing with demons out in the world. You know, this is a day to be careful about, like I said in Astro Tea Weekly, don't be getting in the car with people that drive like maniacs. Don't be doing anything silly. Don't be getting in fights, you know. This is very much an energy of getting in a fight. People bullying other people because they don't have self-worth within them. It's very much a power struggle and a power balance that we're in today. And I think that the best thing you could sort of do is to take stock of what these fears, what these feelings, what these anxieties, what these worries are actually trying to tell you. The shadow attribute is conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. So with that square that's in here today, we could, like I said, the fight thing, it's physical. Like I'm literally saying, be careful when you go out into the world. Be careful when you're even with home, you know what I mean? Family members or just people close to us, people could be losing their shit is basically what I'm sort of saying. And to just maybe not get involved if it's not your battle to fight. I think that everyone's going to be feeling as though they've got a battle to fight today. And I think that with that sun also making a trine over with Jupiter at the same time as it being a part of this T-square, that feels to me like it could amplify, you know, I'm seeing turf wars, you know what I mean? Like, you know how we're those sort of battles that are all about like my postcode, yo, I'm 2447, yo, fuck that 2365, you know, that sort of energy. So it's like, this is that day where it's like we could be seeing locals only wars and shit like that. Like, I don't know, I'm really getting that. Like, I'm seeing Lords of Dogtown surfing sort of energy, like that kind of thing. So we could just be having a day where the roads are crazy, everything's just feeling crazy, you know, things are going weird in the house, you know, the pipes explode, you know, just all sorts of crazy weird shit happens, or you know, the iPad catches on fire. Something random, you know what I mean? Something that's just like, what the fuck? And then so with this bully coming out, we're needing to not let these inner fears, these volatile feelings, these volatile thoughts and ways of being to run the show today. I feel like the best thing we could do is try to keep our cool, keep our wits. That sun is in that trine with Jupiter, who is now retrograde in Gemini, so we need to be intelligent. We need to be using our brains. We need to be thinking about how we want to show up. We need to be thinking things through. We need to be thinking things through slowly as well. And things can be feeling very foggy. The miscommunication energy is really big with all this T-square energy. People getting confused and mixed up and saying the wrong thing, especially with Mercury being in that square with Pluto, but also being in Scorpio to Capricorn. So even with bosses and things, we could be having miscommunications at work, and so it reacts into something that was much bigger than it needed to be. It's very much a day of having very strong communication and very powerful communication, and needing to not lose our shit, not go off the deep end, not try and tear other people down or tear other people apart as well, because that's what a bully does. A bully bullies other people because of its own insecurities. So it's literally about having to find a level of self-empowerment and power, because then we have the goddess. And the goddess attribute says the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. The shadow attribute is exploitation of the female nature and form. So this is about not being in an exploitive energy anymore. And I will make this a side note with that Venus in an opposition to Uranus as well, and with this Chiron, Libra, Sun, Mars stuff going on. Women, my ladies, be careful, especially. This is a week to be careful. If you are planning on going out, I'd say don't go out, to be honest. If you are planning on being around people that you don't know very well, have your mother effing wits about you and have that intuitive shit on. Take your pepper spray. You know, take your wits about you everywhere you go, especially my feminines. I really, really want to emphasize that with the goddess and the bully coming out, because we literally have the shadow attribute saying conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse, exploitation of the female nature and form. So we don't want to be seeing any of us getting stuck in really horrible situations because we were in the wrong place at the wrong time, you know. So it's about, this is a weekend where it's like, stay in with the girls, or stay in and read a book, you know, do something that's going to be honoring this goddess energy. The feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. Wisdom. Have the wisdom to know that when the astrology is this rough, we don't go out and try to drink at bars with people we don't know. Especially with Venus in an opposition to Uranus on Algol, with alcohol involved, roofies, date rape, all that sort of shit. I'm talking really horrible rape shit. And it sounds horrible to say, but I'm going to be the astrologer that says it, because this is one of those days, that past weekend, and I actually didn't emphasize it enough in Astro Tea Weekly probably at all. I didn't even mention this. It's really coming up at the moment, and I didn't even mention that in the weekend horoscopes much. So this is a message that's really coming up for now, is be careful, because I don't want to see anything like that happening to my motherfucking people. I don't want to see it happen to anyone, but I can't be there to go tell everyone, you know what I mean? So just be careful, because this is not nice energy. And even if you feel a bit intimidated, you could be completely wrong, but just be safe, you know, use that wisdom. I think it's really about embracing, and with that Venus opposition with Uranus, that's why the goddess is here. It's about no longer having these self-worth issues and bullying yourself because you don't feel good enough. This is about seeing where, because that sun's in an opposition with Chiron squaring Mars, we need to see where we are wounded. Our identities are wounded. We don't see ourselves as beautiful and as radiant as we actually are. The gambler is a willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. So if you don't feel like going out this weekend and your friends are all asking you why, you say, because I just don't fucking feel like it. And it's not a good weekend to go out. I don't feel right about it. I'm just not going to go. And then watch how something happens with them. You know what I mean? Be intelligent and trust your intuition, trust your body, goddess, trust this. That's what sensuality is. You know, they always say a woman's intuition. So listen to that woman's intuition, whether you're a man or a woman, that beautiful divine feminine aspect of you, because it has you needing to find a level of understanding. You know, Mars in Cancer is about understanding your emotions. You have to understand your feminine self in order to be able to have a healthy, healed masculine self. Same with the feminine. You can't have a healthy, healed feminine if you're not able to look inside the mirror and look at the masculine. We need to be looking at our dreams and understanding that we have this power to manifest radiant beauty and magic. Like, and when I say dreams, I mean your actual dreams. What are you dreaming about? What is coming up in your subconscious mind? Because there are messages that have been coming up. What have you been dreaming about? Because with that Venus in opposition with Uranus, while Uranus is in this nice connection with Neptune, it feels like there are messages that are trying to come through our subconscious mind about our own feminine essence, you know, our femininity, or our divine feminine, or the mother wound, you know, because like I said, we're dealing with a lot of mother and father archetype wounds when we're dealing with Cancer and Capricorn. Then we have love begins, and we have fertility with movement, choices and decisions in the reverse. So this is a day about the choices being made. Love begins. I love that, because I feel like this is a beautiful opportunity to bring more love into your life. That beautiful feminine energy is well and truly here, but it means that we need to make a decision. We need to decide that we're no longer going to bully ourselves. We're going to trust our intuitions. We're going to move in the direction that feels in alignment with God and with alignment with spirit, and is not something that needs, you know, validation and for other people to tell us that we're doing a great job. This is about you needing to, you know, understand when you have to be the one to validate yourself sometimes. We have silent night, and then we have authenticity. So know when it's to call it a day. I am calm and connected to bliss. Know when to rest. Know when to give it a rest. Know when to give yourself a break. That's what this energy is trying to teach us to do. Fertility and love begins with the self, and it begins with knowing what you need. It begins with needs. That's what Cancer is needs. It's the first water sign. It's the first emotional sign, and it's dealing with our physical needs. If our physical needs are not met, we emotionally feel absolutely chaotic, and that is a natural human thing, because that's how we were supposed to be. That's the way we're designed, you know. So we're needing to give ourselves rest, and with this fertility, plant the seeds of love in our lives that we really truly desire. And with that Venus opposition, this is about seeing the abundance that is surrounding us, not focusing on lack. You know, your lack mentality is what's going to get you feeling stuck. We have grateful for the storm and seasons of change. So this is about being grateful for the hardships that are teaching you how to heal through them, how to get better, how to become more responsible, how to become more healed. I am open to the blessings of the storm. I flow into change with ease and grace. So this is about flowing into that change and allowing it to be. Authenticity. I am perfect as I am. And that's what this T-square with the Sun and Chiron and Mars is. We need to see ourselves as perfect before we have the recognition, before we have all the external validation, before we have all the money in the bank, before we have everything looking perfect on the outside. This is us needing to learn to fall in love with what we have on the inside, and to value ourselves, and to see ourselves as worthy, and to trust that we are absolutely fundamentally taken care of. We have the motherfucking Queen coming out. So we have to understand our royalness. We have to understand our beauty. I haven't even mentioned that the moon's just moved into Pisces this morning after leaving Aquarius, and so now we're starting to get even, more into that weird energy where now the moon's starting to go, okay, well, we're coming up to Saturn, so we are seeing where there's still difficulty ahead, but this is where we're needing to be in that regal energy and understand that all queens and kings understand that, progress takes time. It is slow. When kings and queens built their kingdoms and their queendoms back in the day, they did it slowly. It was never expected for the castle to be built overnight. The castle was always going to be built slowly. It was always going to be built with an understanding that things take time. And so you need to build your castle slowly, and you need to build it with your own regal, with your own magic, your own essence, your own beauty in mind. And you need to be moving in a way that honors your emotions, your needs, what it is that you actually physically need, how it is that you need to be showing up to life, all these things, as well as your partnerships and your relationships and your family and your career. All these things are looking for symbiosis because they've been really warped in our lives for a long time. So this moment is a time for you to really truly shine in knowing what it is that you need. And when I say shine, things are hard. Today's not really the day where you're going to shine, but you're going to see where you need to make the changes in order to bring that into your life and to create more harmony and balance, because it comes from self-worth and self-esteem. So, radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. The shadow attribute becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. And that's very much the shadow attribute of this T-square, controlling and demanding, wounded ego, not seeing where we are acting like a total tool, and arrogance. So this is about having a healthy understanding of yourself. Radiating the regal feminine uses her benevolence to protect others, her benevolent authority. So use your authority, use your grace, use what you have learned to build a life that is in protection and love for the people that you care about. This is about showing up not just for ourselves, but also everyone else, and doing it in a way that comes from the heart and comes from the soul and recognizes the true innate needs of your spirit and of your soul and of your even ego, because we cannot dissolve the ego as we live as humans. It's a part of this existence, otherwise the sign Aries wouldn't motherfucking exist. So we are always going to have this Aries, we're always going to have this ego, and so having this T-square right now is asking you to really work through the wounds that you have about yourself and to see yourself in the beautiful light that you deserve to be seen in, because you are fertile, radiant, beautiful. Time to plant your seeds for yourself and to see them grow and to keep watering them so that they will grow. Continue watering your seeds. That's the message that we're going to leave this reading with, my love. I love you so much. Please do give this video a like if you enjoyed it. It really does help my channel. If you feel like dropping any suggestions for future videos, any content that you would like to see, astro guidance, anything like that, let me know, my loves. I really, really do appreciate it. If you'd like to book a private tarot or astrology reading with me, you can do that down below through my link tree. I would like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments, for allowing me to receive and to deliver this message for you guys. Please make sure you check out your channeled songs. It's gonna be lit. Make sure you check out the full moon reading and Astro Tea weekly, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.